Hello, my dear friends. Svetlana Shlapak, the founder of UKVisaSuccess.com is here. This is video number 2 from my 6-part video series, which I've created in order to explain which documents to submit in support of your UK spouse visa application. This particular part is for those where spouses are employed, whether they were with the same employer for over 6 months or for less than 6 months. So I explain 3 important documents which you will need to provide with the application, and this is not mix and match. You don't have any choice. You have to provide 3 of these documents. And also I talk about very specific rules for the directors of the companies. So let us begin.
Guys, and if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I would like to remind you that this particular video is an extract from the online course, which is called How to Meet the Financial Requirements of Your British Spouse Visa Application when applying from outside the UK. And this particular video is about the evidential part. So in the video series is consisting of 6 videos, I'll be explaining the rules for submitting the documents together with your British spouse application. And if you'd like to know more about the online course and about all 5 lessons of this course, you're very welcome to follow the link below this video in order to get instant access to the online course. In this video, I would like to start covering specific categories, and I would like to start with the categories A and B, the employment categories. The first category, category A, is for those who was with the same employer for over 6 months, and the second one is for those who was with the same employer for less than 6 months. And there are generally 3 documents which you should consider submitting with your application. And this is really important for you to understand that you need to submit all 3 documents in order to succeed in the application. So this is not mix and match case scenario. This is you need to submit all the documents. So the first one is the pay slips, and then you'll need to submit a letter from your employer. And this third type of document which you'll need to submit is your bank statements. And also in this video I'll talk about other documents which you may consider submitting in addition to these main 3. So let me explain the rules about the pay slips. You'll need to provide pay slips covering the relevant period of time. For example, the applicable periods will be 6 months if you were with the same employer for more than 6 months. So in other words, you are applying in category A. If you're applying in category B when you were with the same employer for less than 6 months, then the relevant period of time will be 12 months. Pay slips will need to be formal pay slips which were issued by your employer, and they will need to show the employer's name and ideally the address as well. And if they're not, or you are in doubt about the formality of these pay slips, in addition to submitting these pay slips, or if you are unable to provide them, you'll need to ask your employer to write a separate paragraph in their letter, and I will be discussing letters from the employers in just a moment, confirming that the pay slips are in accordance with the company's rules. Or if you do not have the pay slips, then the employer will need to explain why. Now let us talk about the letter from the employer which you will need to submit together with the application. So what does employer need to cover in his letter? Your employer's letter should shed light on the following 4 points. First of all, the fact that you are employed and the nature of your employment and your gross annual salary. Then they will need to confirm the length of your employment and the periods over which you have been or were paid, the level of wages relied upon in the application. And the last one is the type of your employment, whether it's a permanent one, the fixed contract one from the agency, and so on and so forth. And as I already mentioned before, if you don't have any formal pay slips, then your employer will need to cover this point as well in their letter. etc. And the final document which you, I'm afraid, must submit with the application is your bank statement. So the bank statements will need to be either in your name or in the name of your spouse, or it can be a joint bank account, and they will need to cover exactly the same period as your payslip, so that the decision maker can check that all the wages were transferred into your personal bank account. And also there are ways of making your application even stronger, and you may consider, in addition to the payslips, letters from employer, and your bank statements, you may consider submitting other documents which may increase your chances of succeeding in the application. So this can be your P60s, a signed contract of employment, and also these can be reference letters from the company's senior workers. This is not a mandatory list, but as I said, this may increase your chances for succeeding in the application. Now, I would like to talk about the directors of the limited companies. Guys, it's absolutely crucial to understand the rules governing applications submitted by the spouses of directors of limited companies. All company directors, in addition to the documents which I already mentioned, in addition to payslips, a letter from the employer, and the bank statements, should submit a document confirming that their company is not a paragraph 9A company, which I'll explain in just a moment, and it can include the latest annual return filed at the company's house. And also, they did confirm in their policy guidance that the Home Office will accept that where a person appointed as a non-executive director of a limited company based in the UK, and provided this is not a paragraph 9A company, and they're getting a fee or some kind of bonuses instead of salary, this can be counted as income. So let us discuss paragraph 9A companies. What are those, and what evidence can you provide to prove that your company is not a paragraph 9A company? So paragraph 9A company is the specified type of a limited company where the person is either a director or an employee of the company, or boss, or of another company within the same group, and shares are held directly or indirectly by the person or their partner or the following family members, such as parent, a grandparent, child, stepchild, a grandchild, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, nephew, niece, or first cousin, and any remaining shares are held directly or indirectly by fewer than 5 other persons. And if you look at this definition of paragraph 9A company, you'll realize that it is predominantly aimed at family businesses, and the Home Office wants to ensure that paragraph 9A company is a genuine one, and also it is a financially viable one, and therefore they have a number of requirements with regards to the documents which they will need to provide in addition to the ones which we already discovered. And also there will be a requirement to the director personally, so they will need to also provide documents not only covering the company's financial viability, and also proving that they are in a genuine employment. So let us start with the documents which the company will need to provide. Guys, I draw your attention here that you do not have a choice, and you need to provide all of the documents which I will explain in just a moment. So first of all, the Home Office will expect you to provide the company's tax return, which is a CT600. It can be a copy or a printout for the last full financial year, and evidence that this has been filed with HMRC, such as electronic or written acknowledgements from Her Majesty Revenue Customs. And then you'll also need to provide evidence of a registration with the Register of Companies at the Companies House. The next documents which you will need to provide is, and that is provided your company needs to provide an annual audited accounts. This has to be submitted for the last financial year, and if your company does not need to submit annual audited accounts, then unaudited accounts will be sufficient for the last full financial year. However, together with unaudited accounts, you'll also need to submit a document confirming that the accountant is a certified one, and this document is called Accountant's Certificate of Confirmation. And such a certificate can be prepared by an accountant who is a member of a UK recognized supervisory body. Alternatively, an accountant can be a member of the Institute of Financial Accounts, the Association of Authorized Public Accounts, the Chartered Institute of Public Finance and Accountancy, the Chartered Institute of Management Accounts, the Association of International Accounts, and the Association of Accounting Technicians. And then in addition to the documents which I already mentioned, you'll also need to provide your business bank statements covering the same 12-month period of time as the company's tax return, and also a current appointment report from the Home Office. In addition to the documents which I already mentioned, there are a number of suggestions which the Home Office makes with regards to submitting further documents to make the application even stronger. So they suggest to submit one of the following documents. First of all, it can be a VAT certificates. Just to remind you that those where their turnover is over £79,000 a year will need to register for VAT. So this will be expected of you to provide the VAT certificate together with the application. And also, if you own only some business premises, probably some proof of ownership or a leasehold, and also a proof of registration which Her Majesty Revenue and Customs as an employer for the purpose of a payee and national insurance, proof of payee reference number, and accounts office reference number. And they say here that this evidence may be in the form of a certified copy of the documentation issued by HMRC. And also they say that you can provide them with documents confirming ongoing payments of business rates, business-related insurance premiums, or employer national insurance contributions in relation to the company. Guys, and the final point which I wanted to mention in this video is the documents which the directors will need to provide in order to prove that their employment is a genuine one. So these can be two types of documents, and again, the Home Office does not allow you to mix and match, so you'll need to provide all of these documents. First of all, it has to be a payslip, so P60, covering the same period as the company's tax return. And the second piece of evidence which you should submit with the application is your personal bank statements for the last 12 months, covering the company's tax return, which is shown on your CT60. And again, the same rules apply. It can be in your name, in the name of your partner, or this can be for the joint account. I would like to invite you to visit this page, ukvisasuccess.com/more, where you'll find plenty of free immigration resources explaining various immigration rules. And I also invite you to subscribe to a new, very, very succinct and short newsletter where I'll be updating you on various changes in the world of UK immigration law, and also I will be sending various exclusive invitations to the members of ukvisasuccess.com community. You'll only be able to get these offers if you are subscribed to this newsletter. Have an amazing week, guys.